list of body tricks that I feel are very successful, so I'm going to share them with you. Full-figured dancers look best when tastefully covered. Steer clear of the two pieces, steer clear of anything that leaves extra skin. That doesn't mean that they can't be beautiful. I would just be smart about when you are watching them dance, are you watching their body move or are you watching their face? You know what I mean? Like if your eyes go to their like too high cut of a skirt or too much up here, right? Like then you're not looking at the dancer because you're like, are they gonna fall out of their costume? And we don't want the judges to sit there and talk about how they're gonna fall out of their costume. We want the judges to talk about the routine that you spent all that time working on and that their parents paid to put on that stage. So it's very important that we remember the focus. It's almost like when you're choreographing a routine, right? You're not gonna put this special moment in the back corner when there's 8 things happening over here and everybody's looking that way. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Let's make the dancer look the most beautiful. High-waisted skirts are really beautiful on dancers that are a little bit more full figured or a long crop top. So there's ways to do a two-piece and have a little bit of skin, but it's not like super revealing, and it can still be really stunning, and it actually makes dancers look a little bit slimmer, especially like a true waist on a dancer. It's really nice. I'd stay away from turtlenecks or poofy shoulders on dancers who have a hard time keeping their shoulders down or their backs engaged. So I used to have a dancer like this. Every judge, that's all they talked about, shoulders down, shoulders down. So it's like something like that draws attention to their, I mean, yes, the kid needs to work on it. We all know that. We're not, you know what I mean? We know this, we're professionals. But to remember to not draw attention to it. The hemline of a skirt can make a difference. This can make me look super short, but if I take it up just a few inches, it's not risque, I'm on stage. It's gonna make my leg lines look a little bit longer. I love a good slit on the side of my working leg. Yes, we should be working both legs, of course, but at the same time, if a dancer happens to feature one, why not have the slit be on that side? Other things, bustier dancers, make sure they get a lot of support, especially for tap dances. You know, it's really important that we're not staring at that. And really, this is a good note for all tappers. I don't like a lot of exposed skin, and I would say Ryan, my husband, feels very uncomfortable with a lot of exposed skin when he's judging. A lot of my friends that are judges when they're tapping because everything is moving. So I wouldn't do crop top and booty shorts. If they're itty bitty nuggets and they're built like a toothpick, then it's fine, like that they're in a cute little costume. But when they get a little bit older and they're tweens, 12 and up, put them in a t-shirt, put them in a tank top, put them in something that covers their upper body, and they could wear jeans or leggings, because really even shorts is a little bit distracting sometimes. Again, does that mean that you can't put a kid in that? No. You have to think of the body. But that's something that I've noticed, that your eyes go to the wrong place. For dancers with leg limitations or the knee stuff, leggings are actually very flattering. Costumes that are super fitted are just more flattering. If a costume is too snug, the leotard debacle that everybody's freaking out about, right? If a dancer, it looks like they're gonna have a growth spurt, I just wouldn't even put them in a leotard costume for the year. I know that that's like the thing. There are ways to do the leotard if you get it custom made. Have them make a 1-inch band around the leg. It actually is the same exact look, and it keeps the costume down, and it doesn't ride in their crotch. It gives it a little more coverage, so they can be in that beautiful leotard, but they're not like crotch out, right? And it also doesn't ride up their bottom. The other thing with is that they sell leotards like that. So I've seen them on Discount Dance Supply. I've seen them at Dancewear Solutions. So I know that it's hard to find the right cool Leo that has that band, but maybe you could buy that Leo and have the band added on. Yeah. You have to, and that's the difference. You know, I'll sit there and Ryan will come home after a weekend and complain about how he's so uncomfortable. He doesn't want to see these young girls in the leotards up their bottoms, and Caitlin, same thing, right? She'll go off on her tangents. And I'm like, well, that's just you have to be smart about what you put them in and make sure that you get the right leotard that kind of has that kind of coverage. Okay. For dancers with really lean bodies, it's okay. I mean, everybody to each their own. I think it's okay and it's tasteful if they're in a 2-piece costume, if it's a costume. I wouldn't put them in lingerie. I wouldn't put them in a bra. I think that there's really no reason for any dancer, even an 18-year-old, to be in a bra that's rhinestone on stage. I think that you can have it custom made. You can buy it from any of these places that I'm going to give you, and you can throw appliques. It could still be just as stunning and not be a bra. That's my opinion. Everybody's different, right? But I also think there's a time and a place for a dancer who has a beautiful athletic body to show it off, to show the muscle tone, to show their muscles in their backs. I mean, we watched Misty Copeland perform. I actually just saw her at the Hollywood Bowl, and I probably cried through the whole thing. But like, she's just stunning, and she can stand there, and it's her muscle tone and the hard work, right? So if you have a dancer like that, I mean, yeah, show it off. It's beautiful. So I think that there's a time and place for that as well. Young dancers, I think that it's better off to throw them in color. They can wear black when they're older. Not that they can't wear black, but you know. In group routines, let's say that you do mixed colors. Have you ever done that where you're like, okay, you're gonna be red, blue, and white, and you give everybody a color? Make sure that you're paying attention to the formations. Because it's so awkward when it's like all red and then there's like one white dancer and you're like, what? Or, this is the other one I love, when you do a mix of colors and then the kid that's probably the slowest in the class has the brightest costume or is bringing focus. Be smart about that. I do that a lot sometimes for costumes and I'm like, she can't be in red. Just, it can't be her. I mean, she's working hard, but no. I won't tell anybody that, but we all know. You have to be smart, right? You're not, so don't bring focus to the dancer who has to have private lessons every week to stay in that group. It's real life. And then I would say that the costume design should always be appropriate for the dancer's age. Every studio is different. Some studios are absolutely no tummies. And it's fine. I just think it should be appropriate for their age. You know, if the dancer is 9 years old, I don't really think it should be anything that really reminds you of lingerie. You know, but I love lace and I love two pieces and I love the brief look. I think the high-waisted brief is so stinking cute. But I just think there's a way to be tasteful dance costume and to be like a little like, and if you feel that way, then maybe just don't do it. Because it's a thing among like teachers and judges, right? And then I told you about the bands for the legs. So those are like all my body tricks, but again, there's always more. I'm gonna keep going. So when we're talking about costuming in the creative process, my #1 tricks are you should train your teachers to have a voice and how to communicate it. Same with you. If you cannot draw, have a mood board so that you can creatively communicate what you need and what you want, and there's no question. If you're having something custom made, and you can't draw, have a photo of what you want. You can find the clip in a magazine or whatever. My seamstress is Angel. She's fantastic. I've worked with her for years. She can make anything. And I can sew, so I can tell her this is how you cut it. Not everybody can do that. So sometimes if I just have the clip of exactly what that skirt or exactly what that sleeve I want it to look like, then she knows how to make it. If she's a really good pattern maker. If somebody tells you, I can't do that, they're probably not a very good pattern maker. That's my rule of thumb. I'm like, well, you can, because I could do it. But I need to pay you to do it, because I have too much to do. I have emails to answer. Just thousands of emails.